Good morning, welcome to Headline Focus here live on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. It is the 28th of November 2018. Let's have a look at what's making the political headlines. And there is one big story in the news feeds today, and indeed it's going at the moment. As you can see, many government figures hitting the media circuit in order to push it, and that is the government's first economic analysis of the impact of Theresa May's Brexit deal. Now, as you can see here, these are reports that have been done which compares various different models of Theresa May's Brexit deal against all the other outcomes, including a no-deal Brexit. Now, the hope from this is that these reports can help Theresa May, the Prime Minister, with the argument that her plan is the best plan for Britain, in the hope that, of course, MPs will be listening to that and might actually then come behind Theresa May and support her when the vote comes in the Commons on her deal on the 11th of December. Now let's have a look at what the Telegraph has been reporting on the results of these reports. GDP will be 1 or 2% lower after 15 years of Theresa May's deal than if Britain stayed inside the EU. So not great in the sense that the GDP will be 1 or 2% lower than staying in the EU. Therefore, the line of the deal, however good it is, isn't as good as staying in the EU. However, interestingly here, a Norway-style relationship would leave Britain at 1.4% worse off than staying inside the EU. The interesting comparison there is that Theresa May can say, well, actually, the deal that I've been able to forge and I've negotiated with the EU is actually pretty much, in terms of economic impact, the same economic benefits or same economic consequence as a Norway-style deal, apart from I feel I've negotiated extra benefits through this negotiation as well. That's quite a powerful message if anyone's listening, because those who pushed for a Norway-style deal actually, in terms of economic arguments, don't seem to have that much to stand on in terms of this government report. A no-deal scenario will leave GDP 7.6% lower, which is equivalent to 150 billion over the past 15 years, with a Canada-style free trade deal leaving GDP 4.9% down. Now, as you can see here in the headlines, Philip Hammond, the Chancellor, has been on the airwaves this morning. Speaking on the Today programme, he actually said that all the scenarios leaving in terms of Brexit will be worse off for the UK. All forms of Brexit will make the UK worse off. That's not a great line for the Chancellor to be saying, but of course that's the reality of what these reports are indicating. But he went on to say Theresa May's plan is the best available. He said the economy will be slightly smaller on the Today programme. Now, this is good results from May. This is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not showing that there's going to be necessarily economic sunlit uplands, but it does show that her deal, in the context of other arrangements, isn't too much of an economic catastrophe, as some will argue. And this will, as I said, she'll use no doubt to pitch that her deal is the best opportunity and option for Britain. But The Sun reporting this morning in the front page, May could lose the vote in Westminster by 200 votes, which is obviously a massive, massive figure and massive undermining the Brexit plan. Interestingly as well, there's another set of results coming out about 4:30 this late afternoon, evening, which is the Bank of England's due to publish its own Brexit forecast as well. Expect the Governor Mark Carney to be out delivering that in the next few hours. Next story then is something which is going on in Cabinet. Now, Brexit, immigration, they are two which have gone hand in hand in a lot of political commentary over the past couple of years. Immigration was an issue in the Brexit negotiations, some people voting in part to take back control of borders. What to do, actually, though, post-immigration is apparently, according to reports, subject to a lot of disagreement within Cabinet, with Theresa May being reported as an isolated individual in terms of what she thinks the post-immigration strategy for the UK should be. This is particularly according to The Sun. They've got a report today that the government is particularly divided over Theresa May's position on low-skilled immigration post-Brexit. Now, this is to do with the immigration paper that's reports are due to be published next week. However, it could be delayed because of these cabinet rows, according to these reports. Sajid Javid, the Home Secretary, was forced to admit details of the post-Brexit visa scheme may not come out until after MPs have actually voted on the PM's Brexit deal on 11th of December. He told the Home Affairs Select Committee the government hasn't set a final publication date for the White Paper, but very shortly. And then asked about when it would arrive, he said, "I certainly say in December." Now, that's quite significant because immigration being such a key issue, Sajid Javid being such a new Home Secretary as well, wanting to get away from perhaps previous rhetoric of there being a toxic environment for illegal immigrants and post-Windrush. It's a very hot political agenda in terms of what's going to be happening, and obviously for many people looking at the immigration details on Brexit will be a key factor. We will find out, I suppose, next week when this immigration paper is going to come out. But interestingly, as well, May is reported by one cabinet minister in the Sun as saying she was in a minority of one. So not great news for Theresa May. Interesting to see how this plays out in the next few days, and indeed what this eventual immigration paper will look like. Main, obviously, argument for a lot of the cabinet is the business case of low-skilled migrants are needed in the business economy in order to supplement and supply workforce. And so having a system which isn't a clamp down on low-skilled migrants, but rather has sufficient controls but also sufficient access to that workforce is going to be very important. Next up, one more story. Corbyn versus May in a TV debate. It's now been confirmed. You remember there's been a lot of rattling about this. Sky News in particular have been petitioning for leaders' debates and televised debates. But Theresa May, the Prime Minister, and Jeremy Corbyn have both confirmed they've agreed to take part in a live debate on the issue of Brexit. Now, this will be before MPs vote on the deal. The actual date has not been confirmed yet, however. A slight change from Theresa May. If you remember, particularly from the general election in 2017, she was not prepared to debate Jeremy Corbyn one-on-one in the election campaign on TV. But now, Prime Minister said she was the only one with a plan for the UK's future. Labour saying that Mr Corbyn would relish the chance to challenge the Prime Minister on that. The SNP, Lib Dems, Plaid Cymru and the Greens were demanded to be involved to ensure a range of views is reflected. However, at the moment it is going to be one-on-one Jeremy Corbyn against Theresa May in terms of the Brexit agreements and what to do on Brexit. Expected to happen a few days before the vote. We don't know any more than that at the moment, but expect not that long away before the vote comes, so a few more details to be coming in the next few days, or very shortly at least. That's pretty much it for today. You're up to date. Don't forget you can find all the latest on what we're doing here on Core Politics on our Facebook page and Twitter right here. If you want to chat about anything I've covered today, the comment box is below. And of course, my Twitter is at RJHDouble if you want to find out more. If you want to know more about what happened, in particularly that Sajid Javid, Home Secretary, and immigration or row over immigration, I was on BBC Radio London this morning. You can have a listen back on the Petrie Hoskin show. Until Friday, have a fantastic next couple of days. See you then.